Blue line and hearing the mixed national anthems?
Oh, you really don't pay a whole lot of attention to your anthem. You kind of marvel at the opposing team's anthem, because a lot of the other anthems, as the Soviet Union one, it is very beautiful to listen to. But you're out there, you're thinking, let's get on with this game. I, for one, am not a great fan of opening ceremonies and hoopla like this, as we see the Spartak starting lineup.
All right, let's play hockey then. Sergei Kalashimov will be the goaltender. Ilya Biakin will be one of the defensemen. And as you see, not quite the standard way you would see Canadian or American hockey. Viktor Shalamov will be at center, and the other three starters will be German Volgin, Sergei Sheplev, and also rounding things out will be Vladimir Levenchiev. So there's the Spartak starting lineup as they gather around their goaltender. And on the other side, you see Gary Kruzic, who will start in goal, the MVP from the NCAA tournament a year ago. He'll be joined by Todd Flickel and Scott Pollock on defense. George Roll, who was the captain who exchanged the banners, will be starting at one wing, centered by Paul Easbear, and Jamie Wansborough rounds things out for the Falcons. Brian Hart will be the official this evening. Two linesmen, Rick Strauss and Dave Harvey. We are about ready for hockey. Let's do it.
One quick thing I'd like all our viewers out there to watch is I want them to notice the speed and the fundamentals that the Soviet Union will always strive for. They don't make a lot of mental or physical mistakes. I think that's important to their success over the last 2 or 3 years.
We are about underway. Shalamov, who did not play against Michigan last night, and Easbear face things off. It's back to Pollock in the Bowling Green zone. Scott Pollock to Jamie Wansborough. Tried to flip it ahead. It was knocked down. Gets it back. Wansborough over to Roll. He'll dump it into the Russian zone. Spartak casing it down as Easbear goes hard into the boards along with Biakin. Biakin tried to clear it. Cannot. Pollock will put a shot toward the net. Deflected by Jamie Wansborough. It goes wide. Out to center ice. Todd Flickel goes down to hit it. Flickel along the board. Fighting with Levenchiev. Goes back into the Spartak zone. Controlled there briefly by Biakin, and he cuts it across onto the other side to Volgin. Russians bring it out of their own end. Working on the near side. Shalamov tries to leave it ahead. Breaking in. Would have been a nice move. However, just offside was Sergei Sheplev.
We got a good look at how the Russians took their time in their own zone and set up. They do it a lot like you do in basketball. Only they will press a lot, but they take their time. They're always moving the zone. You don't see very many players standing still. They're always moving the puck around. It's sort of a floating style of play.
We're underway from the neutral zone, controlled by the Russians. Fokin is able to get it off onto the side. Levenchiev leaves it off, wants to go on to Martinov. It's a good check at center ice, picked up by Ian Duncan. And if you want to watch a Falcon check, Ian Duncan is the gentleman that will do it. Behind their own net, Martinov trying to control it. Duncan sends it back down low to Brent Regan. Regan trying to work it along the board. And it's whistled dead there. Will face off to the right. Good hit by Ian Duncan, and I'm sure knowing Ian, he wanted to get that one out of the way.
One thing Bowling Green has to do is do what Ian did. Keep bumping them because it takes them off their game, which is mainly skating and passing.
Levenchiev and Regan on the face-off, and Doug Claggett will put one on net. Kalashimov is able to hold on to it. We'll do it all over again from the right side. Regan moves in. Levenchiev, and it's sent back behind. Russians try to break out. Spartak's Levenchiev comes to the near side. Looking it there is Richkoff. Richkoff leaves it behind. Nice drop pass. Trying to control, cannot. Goes onto the far side. Shot taken off the side. Kruzic, I think, got a piece of that one by Folkin. Still held in. Levenchiev trying to move in. Drops it back. Going to be cleared out of the zone by the Falcons. Regan all the way back to Folkin, who goes into his own end. Moves it up ahead. On the far side, Volgin. Volgin starts up ice. Volgin with a head of steam. Tried to pick through the Falcon defense. Going to be cleared away by Dave Randerson. Goes to Doug Claggett, but they will not clear it. Along the blue line. Comes in. Martinov. A shot goes off the glass behind. And apparently out of the ring as well. Will be facing off. With a break, let's pause for 30 seconds. No score. Changes from standard collegiate hockey when we get a moment. Up ice with it on the near side is Anison. Anison gets it back. Tried to move it by the circle. Comes out to the blue line. Shot and a save by Gary Kruzic. Pollock goes into the corner trying to track it down with Baranski. Picked up by Pollock. Pollock moves it up ahead. Falcons. Don Barber will send it long. Brian Meharry going long. We're going to get an icing call here. Comes back waved off, and that's one of the rules we'll have to talk about quickly. Anison gives it up ahead. Moves it over to Chisigov. With a head of steam, Anison once again. He's a dandy puck handler. Goes off into the corner, back out on top. Moving there, shot taken, goes just wide on a blast by Chistyakov. Set up in front. Anison again, sets it down low nicely. Kruzic gets the pad down and knocks it wide. Goes behind the Falcon net. Pollock trying to tie him up in the corner. Pollock still trying to ride. Meharry goes in along with Anison, and we get the face-off in the Falcon zone to the left of Gary Kruzic. Break in the action. Let's again pause for 30 seconds. No score. Will be in the Falcon zone to the left of Gary Kruzic. Comes out to the point. Going to be held there by Mikhailov. Mikhailov sends it below into the Falcon zone. Claggett watching. It's again dropped behind. I believe it's Shalamov. Leaves it on the side. Falcon. They try to move it up ice. Falcons tried to break out. Could not. Nice play by Mikhailov. Now it's brought out by Jamie Wansbrough. It'll go all the way back to the Russian zone where Byakin takes it. Intercepted by Jamie Wansbrough. However, we've got the whistle and offside called against Bowling Green. Quickly, the rule changes. We've got the two-line pass and the touch on the icing. Can you explain it for us?
They're going back to some of the old international rules and international hockey rules. A pass cannot be from one player to another go over two lines. Example, red line and blue line. And there will be a touch icing. Puck clearing down the ice has to be touched by the opposing team.
Controlled in their own end. Martinov for Spartak starts moving up ice. Gives to Volgan. Volgan, nice feed up ahead to Levenchev. Levenchev feeds it back again. Martinov shot saved by Kruzic. Comes out to the blue line, held in by Falcon. Falcon leaves it behind for Volgan. Volgan, a shot off the post again. No goal. Volgan looking for Levenchev. Cannot. Falcon should be able to clear it. Dave Randerson pushes it way long. It'll be picked up by the Russians. Falcon sent back into the Falcon zone. Falcons caught in a line change. Kruzic way out of the net, able to stop it. Spartak can't take advantage of it. Brent Regan moves up ice. He's got Dave Randerson ahead. Randerson working one-on-one against Martinov. Upended. We're going to get our first penalty of the game. It goes behind the Spartak net. They touch it, and a trip is going to be called on Spartak. Let's wait and make sure we've got the correct gentleman. I believe it's Falcon.
I believe you're right. One thing that the two contrasting styles that we do have is that the Russians do not play the body heavily. They rely on their stick a whole lot. So we're going to get the announcement from PA announcer Tom Glick here in a minute.
Number 22, Sergei Falcon, 2 minutes.
So we'll get a chance to see the Falcon power play here now. They go at about 20% during Central Collegiate Hockey Association. You see Gary Kruzic in his statistics.
We'll also get a chance to look at the penalty killing of the Russian team.
It goes to Meharry in the slot, cranks a shot, saved by Galashimov, almost left on the doorstep. They're able to clear it away. Picked up by Anison. Anison sets it out. Nice beat onto the side to Richkov. Baranski moves into Anison. Anison has it shoveled wide. Brian McKee trying to control it there. Set back again to Anison, and he's a dangerous stick handler in front of the net. Up ice, Paul Easbear moves ahead. He'll dump it in. And going after it, trying to beat him to it, Jamie Wansbrough is able to get it. That's the touch we were talking about. Anison sends it long. He'll ice it for the Russians. They have to kill for another 123 on the Falcon penalty. Brian Meharry tries to move up ice. Wants to work thing. Gets up there to the red line. Sends it in. It'll bounce around behind Wansbrough in the far corner. Jamie trying to control the roll. Cannot. It'll be sent to the blue line and across. Back out ice, Meharry. At the red line, Meharry moves up, dumps it in, wants to hit Jamie off the board. It goes just a little bit too long, and back to retrieve is Kurchenko. Sent long. Again, the Russians able to ice it down a man, playing shorthanded for another 50 seconds. Held against the board, Meharry will get it free. Brian Meharry moves it up ice. Tries to feed ahead to Dave Randerson. The senior gets it into the Spartak zone, sets it down low. Regan, they had Duncan in front, didn't see him quick enough to feed him. Still trying to pressure is Regan. Regan with a lot of good work there, trying to back check. Intercepted. Regan in front, shoots. No, he fanned on it just a bit. Couldn't quite get all of it. Byakin will be able to send it out center ice. Best scoring opportunity for Bowling Green as Meharry takes it off the board. Meharry working with it, sets it cross ice. Try to dump it in. He'll get it right back, sends it in. Regan on the chase. Karams behind the Spartak net. Regan, who's had a good shift here on this power play, not able to control once again. It goes back to Shalamov. Shalamov sends it behind his own net. There to take it, Mikhailov. Sets it up ahead. Shepelev moves up ice. Send into the Falcon zone. Both teams are at full strength. Meharry sets it up out of the rink and will be facing off once again. With a break in the action, let's pause for 30 seconds. No score. Kruzic this season, an even 8-8, as we said, kind of a rebuilding year for the Falcons. 13:20 to go, first period. No score between Spartak and the Falcons. Look out, dangerous situation. Shot off the post, rebound, score by Shepelev, and it's 1-0 Spartak. Not much Gary Kruzic could do on that one. They had a host of players in front of the net and just started picking on the guy.
They sure did, and that was just a giveaway in the zone by a young freshman, Scott Pollock. You see it here. He just loses the puck to Shalamov, and Shalamov is a very dangerous. He has some international experience with the national team. He held the puck. Gary Kruzic made the first save, and Shepelev is on the doorstep, another player with international experience. And, you can't give these guys, they're 25, 30 years old, you can't give them an opportunity like that to put the puck in the net because they'll capitalize on it.
We're underway again. Doug Claggett sends it in. 13:07 left to play in the first period. 1-0 Spartak. It's set out, held in. Andy Gribble. Andy Gribble's the sharpshooter. Wait, we got the whistle. We're going to have a penalty on Jeff Williams of the Falcons, I believe.
And this is another thing Bowling Green has to try and do, is stay out of the penalty box. The Russian team is very proficient in passing the puck around, as we've seen so far in this first period with 13 minutes to go. And they always move into areas of the puck. The most dangerous player on the ice on a Russian line is the one that doesn't have the puck, because he always goes to an area, and they see the ice so very well that they always move the puck around much better than the North American teams have.
Face-off, as the Falcons now will have to show their ability to kill penalties. And we'll get our first look at the Spartak power play. They move it up ahead. Richkoff, nice beat onto the side. Martinov being pressed against the board, was able to get it in. George Roll steals it. He'll send it long, and it'll wrap around the board. Milashimov settles it there, gives off to Fokin. Fokin looks ahead. Able to get it there to Levenchev on the center of the rink. Levenchev moves into the Falcon zone, fakes the move, gets back around, trying to play off Todd Flickel, sets it out to the point. Martinov on the left side, works to Fokin. Fokin goes to the circle. They drop it by. Levenchev at the circle, able to hold it. Martinov on the near side circle, shot goes wide. Rebound, Easbear will send it up into the Falcon bench. It went off the back of the linesman Rick Strauss, and that should bring the face-off out into the neutral zone.
Sure did, and Bowling Green is doing exactly what I expected Coach York wanted them to do on the penalty killing. They're staying in their areas. They're not running around and chasing the puck, which is what the Spartak team wants them to do. As you see, Evgeny Zimin again, the head coach of Spartak, and they have to do this. They have to stay in their areas and not chase the puck around, because the Russian team will always get great scoring opportunities once you chase the puck.
Todd Flickel sends it long on the face-off. Falcons killing the penalty for another minute here. Evgeny Zimin will be our guest in between periods, we might add as well. Gribble tried to tip it away, could not. Gribble leads the Falcons with 2 shorthanded goals this season. Sent into the Bowling Green zone. They try to get it back out, and the Falcons will be successful, as Brent Regan did the honors all the way back behind the net there to retrieve Orlov. Orlov waits, wanted to come over to Borisov. They set it up center ice, and Todd Flickel again sets it long. Kucherenko, the man with it there, gives off to Borisov. Borisov out to the center zone, and again, Andy Gribble able to intercept, send it in, they leave it, and Brent Regan almost caught Kucherenko napping a little bit there. No such luck for Bowling Green. Up ice on the near side, Anisin, he's the wily veteran, feeds it off onto the side. Orlov gets it again to Kucherenko, onto the near side, Borisov. Borisov sets it down low, Anisin trying to get there, and it's sent up into the air. It'll be finally cleared by Todd Flickel, as Ian Duncan was able to send it. Falcons back at full strength, so power plays thus far unable to capitalize for either the Falcons or Spartak. Move it up ice again. Brian Meharry with a check there. Here comes Spartak. Moving on the near side. Shalamov leaves it once. Knocked out. Here comes Dave Randerson. Randerson tried to inch it ahead to Don Barber. Barber gets it. Breaking in. Shoots. Scores! Don Barber hits. And it's 1-1. Don Barber was able to get it from Dave Randerson, and there again, Spartak looking perhaps a little nonchalant and trying to cover up as it drifted into their own zone.
Yeah, very, very true, and this is really Golish, gotta excuse me here, Golishimov's first opportunity to see a shot on net on him, and Barber put it low to the glove side and beat him clean, and that just really was set up by, as you said, the nonchalantness of the Russian defense. Dave Randerson just poke-checking the puck away, Barber picking it up, going in alone, and made no mistake, low on the glove side, and you're so right. It looks right now lackadaisicalness of the Russians has cost them a goal.
Well, they Wolverines of Michigan surprised them last night. Falcons' Don Barber says, let's do it again. Not this time. Shot taken. It'll go wide by Spartak. Randerson up with it. Randerson getting an assist on that goal. Tries to leave it in for Barber. Don's taking it away again. Mahary chases into the corner after it. Leaves it behind. Picked up on top. Go to Shepelev. He tries to move it ahead. With a head of steam on the right side, leaves it behind, goes over there to Shelemov. It goes behind the Falcon net. Mahary picks it up, wants to send it out of the zone. Taken away again. Mahary able to pick it up. Randerson chasing after it. It worked once for Dave. Why not try it again? Miakin sets it, gets it back now on the give and go. Bumped in his own end. They move it back once again. Bolden. Bolden sends it way long. Should get an icing call here. Let's see if Natashak does. He puts the touch on it. And we'll come back to the other end. With a break in the action, let's pause for 30 seconds. 1-1 our score. It bounces off the post, did not go in. Gary Kruzic with a little help from his friend the post there. Behind the net, Mike Natashak for Bowling Green. We're knotted at one. Try to feed it to Wansbro. Jamie will get it out of the zone. Wansbro up to Easbear. He's got some speed. Easbear pressed along the board, as also Laventia says. I've seen those moves before. Wansbro trying to steal it away in front. Good pressure by the Falcons in the Spartak zone. Against the board, Roll sends it low, wants Easbear. Wansbro will go after it. Picked up again by Falcon. Falcon tried to send it out. Roll gets it, puts it in front. Deflected just wide by Paul Easbear. Taken again by Falcon. Looking for Martinoff instead, decides to send it long. Gary Kruzic will make the stop on it. And it'll go to Doug Claggett. Spartak making a line change here. Bounce it off the board, out to the center zone. Controlled again by Falcon of Spartak. He feeds long. Richkoff comes back into his own end deep to Borisov. Borisov slowly and deliberately trying to set things up. Sends it long. Brian McKee takes it. McKee at the blue line has it poked away. Look out. Baranski has a move. Stops off onto the right side. Centers it. No one there to take it for Spartak, and they'll put it out to the point. Held in there by Borisov. Gary Kruzic calmly reaches up and says, thank you. We'll face this one off.
One thing I like what Bowling Green is doing, as we see a replay here of but I'm really impressed with how Bowling Green is taking the play of the Russians. You cannot relax on them, because if you give them time to set up, then they tend to dictate the game and take the game the way they like it, which is always moving, slowing it down a bit, and then pressing you all in one moment for a good scoring opportunity. And Bowling Green is denying that opportunity for them.
Face off, they try to send it out. Falcons unsuccessful. It's held in by Kirchenko. It's knocked up into the air, gloved down by Brian McKee. He moves it all onto the near side. Mahary tried to clear it out with a push, could not. Flicko gets it to Mahary. Mahary should be able to bring it up ice. Nice beat, Andy Gribble breaking up. Gribble moves in, cranks a shot off the post. And I think we had a two-line pass way back, so we'll have to bring it back.
And that's what we were talking about, a two-line pass. A pass where your teammate throws you the puck. As you see Gribble going here, letting a great shot up high off the crossbar, but all called back because of a two-line pass. A pass that originated from your own end, inside your blue line, traveled across the blue line and the red line to your own teammate, and that's called back for a two-line pass or an offside pass.
Falcons in their own end. McKee controlling it. Bowling Green and Spartak tied 1-1 with 7:38 left to play in the first period. Retreating is Kucherenko. Tried to clear it. Move it up ice. Baraski sends it long, and Eason has it deflected away. Orlov was the man he was trying to hit. Here's Brian Mahary at the red line. It sticks on the red line, and Mahary has to get it back. Feeds it ahead. Believe McKee. McKee gets tripped up as he crosses the blue line. Controlled again by Borisov. Borisov puts it up ahead. Orlov to Anisin. Anisin carries it in. Tried to feed it through a crowd, and Brian McKee took it away. McKee, headman pass, wanted Gribble. Gribble on a line change, did not pick it up. George Roll trying to control things. It's sent back into the Falcon zone. Chasing it down. Going to get an icing call.
And that's what we were talking about there, where the puck traveled from the red line all the way into the zone, and unlike college rules, has to be touched by a player to be called back for icing. But I'm sure Glenn, having watched, for a good part of this period, there's only 6:58 left in the first period. Bowling Green has really taken the play to the Russian team. I think that's credit to the coach Durio, because he said, be relaxed and play your type of hockey game.
Set out to the point. We're in the Spartak zone. Mike Natashak fans on it. Able to knock it away from Laventia. Had he not, it may have been a 2-on-1 with Scott Pollock back to defend for Bowling Green. Natashak puts it deep. Jeff Williams chasing after it. Not able to control, but good job keeping his stick around the play. Natashak will take it out at center ice. Makes the turn, trying to keep away. Sees everyone on side. Puts it on net. Golashimov has to make the stop. Move it over to Biakin. Biakin tries to set it out long. Here they come. Spartak moving on the near side. Bolden in front. Shot stopped by Gary Kruzic. Into the corner. Natashak cannot control. Levenchiev tries to set it in front. Kruzic comes out of the crease and says, once again, let's face off. I'm not going to take any chances. Tied at 1 with just 6:19 left to play. Break in the action. Let's pause for 30 seconds. 1-1 our score. Face-off dropped in the Falcon zone. Pollock ahead to Ian Duncan. Duncan tried to center it, picked away by Bolgen. We're going to get a tripping call on Regan. And again, we'll get to see that Spartak power play. And I can hear Gary Kruzic down there saying, what's he talking about? We get to see that Spartak power play.
He really doesn't want to see it. And one thing, as you see the penalty coming up here, it was just Regan. He got caught behind, and he did the only thing he could do, which was trip the Soviet player. And one thing I want our viewers to notice here is how the Soviet team moves around in all areas of the ice, in each of the 3 zones. And what they do is they always throw it to an area where an individual will be going into. What Boulder Green has to do is stay in their zones like a zone in basketball and don't chase the puck around.
Falcons killing the penalty, trying to clear it out. Cannot. Levenchiev sets it in front, and over there to try to make the play was Gerben Volgen, and was unable to. Bowling Green trying to send it out. Andy Gribble wanted to shove that one long because Paul Easbear was on the fly. It's dumped into the Spartak zone. Twisting there is Folken. Watched by Easbear. Folken comes out left side. Folken again onto the right side. Moves it up ahead. Near side Levenchiev. He tries to drop it down low. Folken going in after it. Able to swing it over to Folken. Back out on top. Folken sets it down low. Levenchiev into the corner. Again, taken over by Shalimov. Shot taken, goes wide. Rebound picked up by Levenchiev. Levenchiev down low once again. Trying to make the play. Ian Duncan sets it to Easbear. Easbear tried to lift it up, and Folken's a little too tall. It's finally cleared out of the zone. Gribble moving down, picks it up. Tried to put it behind the net, could not. 1 minute to go on the Spartak power play. Falcons down a man. Moving up ice again. Shalimov sets it in front. Nice play. Volgen can't make the move on it to get the shot away, however. And it's set down low. Volgen gets it back. Wants to go to Martinov, and it's sent way long. 43 seconds left on the Spartak power play. Volgen retrieves in his own end. One of the younger players. He's 21 years old. Up ice with it. Levenchiev. Levenchiev picked at the blue line and cleared back out by the Falcons' George Roll, the senior captain from the Chicago area. Up ice, Biakin. Biakin feeds it back once again. Controlling there, Shalimov. Shalimov, nice feed onto the far side, goes to Shepelev. Shepelev, who had a goal last night against Michigan, carries it behind the net. Works it out, wants to come to the point. Virchenko there, finally gets it to him, steps up, moves it over to the opposite side. Volken gets it back. Again, shot taken, goes wide. Held on to on the far side by Shalimov, and going to finally be cleared by Bowling Green. Falcons back at full strength. 4 minutes left to go. We're knotted at 1. Spartak against the Bowling Green State University Falcons. Moving up ice quickly. Biakin says, well, we didn't score with the man advantage. Let's try it this way, but Dave Randerson takes it away. Ups it to Regan. Regan moving in. He's got McKee with him. Shot, save, and Golashimov jumps on it. Had he let that one go another instant longer, Rob Urban and Brian McKee were both moving in on it.
But he did the thing he had to do. Here comes Regan. He's coming down the left side on Golashimov, and he's holding the puck. He's ready to shoot, and he did do the right thing in my mind. He did take the shot, because once you start fooling around that close to the net, 9 out of 10 times you don't get the good shot. And he did what he had to do. He came in and he took the good shot on net.
In addition, like I said, he had 2 white jerseys following up on the play, so a rebound might have been a good opportunity. McKee pressed along the boards, near side by Orlov, and will get the face-off once again. 3:32 left to play. Period number 1 from the Richfield Coliseum in Richfield, Ohio. Glad to have you with us this evening. Bowling Green State University, the defending NCAA champion, against one of the perennial powers of the top Soviet League, Spartak. Back into the Spartak zone. Kucherenko tried to feed it ahead, wanted Borisov, could not. Kucherenko finally will send it long, able to get it to Varansky. He moves up ice to Orlov. Orlov rips off to the right side. Tried to center it, picked up by Anisin, came back in front, and Borisov had just made his cut a little bit earlier and was not there to make the play. Again, Orlov tries to center it. Borisov trying to go through a crowd, gets upended, left on top Anisin. Nice stick move, holds on, drops it back. Virchenko Sets it off onto the near side. Rob Urban after it. Rob makes the turn. Urban trying to clear it, and Eason holds it in. Set down low, knocked up in the air. Kuzic once again using that glove is able to gather it in with just 2:49 left to go in the first period. Shots on goal right now, Bowling Green 5 and Spartak 13.
Here we see Rob Urban giving the puck away, and Eason dangerous on the doorstep. Had it not been for McKee sliding over to knock the puck up in the air, it could have been 2-1 very easily for the Russian team. One thing the Russians do extremely well is curving and moving and crisscrossing, and you know, like I said, you have to watch for them passing the puck to an area, not to a man, but to an area. And how you defend against that is to stay in your zone, stay in your lanes and your alleys, much like in basketball where you play a zone and don't chase the puck around.
You sound excited, like you'd like to be down there playing.
Oh, I'd sure love to be down there right now.
Set around behind the Falcon net. Bowling Green's Wimsboro could not clear it. Held in again by Spartak. Richkoff able to play it along the board. Gets it right back. Still moving with it. Wimsboro tried to take it away. A pair of 19s there. They set it off onto the far side. Working there, Bogan. Bogan sets it behind again. Tried to center it. Taken away. Laurentiev holds it on the side. Knocked down by Bowling Green. Headman pass. Wansboro, center of the rink. Jamie crosses the red line, dumps it in. Kalashimov sends it around to the near side. Laurentiev there to take it. Natashak going to try to hold it in. Meharry had it briefly. Knocked away. Wansboro to Barber. Shot and a save. Barber looking for a second goal of the night there. Bogan sets it out long on the right side to Laurentiev. Bogan brings it across the blue line offside. John Barber turning on the scoring machine here tonight for Bowling Green. He got one and was looking for another one there.
Thought he had another one too, and that was just another good forechecking job by Brian Meharry this time, not Dave Anderson. And John Barber, jolly on the spot again. Got a good shot off of Galashimov. Seems to settle down a bit and made a good save off him.
Between periods, a bit of information on the fine physical sciences plan at Bowling Green State University, and a chat with the head coach, Coach Zimmin of the Spartak team. Hope you'll stay with us for that. Sent out of the zone. Spartak gathers it in and starts things off. Shalamov moves back into his own end. At center ice, taken again by Bolden. Starts up ice, feeds long, trying to move in. Shepelev feeds it across, but Andy Gribble's able to take it away, moves it to center ice. Crosses the red line, 3-on-2, but he stands at the blue line and dumps it in. Rolls around behind the net, controlled again by Spartak. Bolden looking for Shepelev, gets it right back, sends it into the Bowling Green zone. Gribble tried to clear it long, could not. Shalamov is able to hold on to it, goes behind the net, set in front, across the slot area, no one there to take it. George Rolls sets it way long. It's waved off on the icing call. Retrieving again is Biakin. Biakin, far corner, overskates it. Gribble puts it back into the corner. Biakin takes it, sent way long, down into the Falcon zone. Lumbering after it, Todd Flickle. Behind his own net. Shepelev tries to steal it away. We're under a minute to play. First period of action, tied at 1. Behind the net, Doug Claggett slips and falls, and it's whistled dead there.
It's really been a good period so far for the Bowling Green team. We were talking before amongst ourselves, and we figured a first period like this against one of the top Soviet teams in their top league, you kind of come out and you be in awe. As we see Gary Cruz, who has always been a backbone in only his second year of this Falcon team, and like we were saying, from Chicago, Illinois, and we were talking, you figure they come in and be in awe of the Soviet team, but it really looks like they haven't. They've been relaxed out there, moving the puck around, and just doing the things Coach Sharp wants them to do.
Falcons apparently not in awe, maybe just back on their heels a little bit when we start. Here comes Spartak, shot taken, and Kuzic watches it goes wide. Orlov will be able to hold it in, carries it toward the net, sets it in front, tried to feed it nicely there to Varansky, but it was just off the end of his stick. And Regan tries to regain it for Bowling Green. Spartak holding on, 33 seconds to go in the period. Making the turn again is Varansky. He sends it out too long. Ian Duncan with a little help there as well. Spartak gathers it in at center right, sets it to the Falcon blue line. Brian McKee goes to the Spartak blue line, and he'll pick it back up near his own end. Center zone, tipped into the Spartak zone by Ian Duncan. Duncan chases it down, not able to control. It's sent out center ice. Scott Pollock takes it in there. Another one of those freshmen for the Falcons. We're going to have a penalty called on whom? It appears as if the Falcons will finish the period. Well, we're going to go 4-on-4. Brian McKee going off, and Orloff going off for the Spartak squad as well.
And with only 6 seconds left, this is really, a good way to end the period. going into the second period, starting off 4-on-4, get the Russians. That's very dangerous because they like to skate, they like to move the puck around, and we'll have to wait and see how it comes out, which has been a very entertaining period so far for the Falcon team.
6 seconds, we're down to 5. Let's see if either team gets one last. Nope, the Spartak squad says we'll take care of those last 6 seconds. So as you said, Perry, a very interesting and entertaining first period of hockey. We've got 40 minutes remaining as both teams were able to tally once, as it was a nice play. Shepelov taking a feed from Levenchev to gain the first score and put Spartak up 1-0. And then Bowling Green able to score when Don Barber came rolling down ice after taking a short little feed from Brian Meharry. And he was able to tie things up along with Randerson, as I said, on the Barber assist to make it 1-1 at the end of a period. Shots on goal, we'll get saves to you a little bit later. Shots on goal for Spartak, 10, for Bowling Green, 7. So check that. They just put another one up there as we're watching. Bowling Green 8, Spartak 10. So that would put saves right now for Gary Kruzic, 7, and for Glashimov, that would put 9. That would be 9 for Kruzic and 7 for Glashimov as we get things squared back away again. As I said, coming up in between periods, we've got the short piece on Bowling Green State University, outstanding physical science building. Hope you'll stay tuned for that. Right now, we're going to pause for 60 seconds as we leave you between periods 1 and 2. Our score from the Richfield Coliseum reads Spartak of the Soviet Union 1 and the Bowling Green State University Falcons 1. Coliseum. Again, I'm Glenn Cerny along with Perry Braun, and certainly glad to have you with us for this broadcast of U.S. Amateur Hockey from Richfield, Ohio. Gary Kruzic, as I look to the side, had to be happy with his play the first period as well. We're underway, and it's controlled by Paul Easbear into the Falcon zone, but quickly moving in there is Shalamov, and he wastes no time. George Roll steals it away, goes to Scott Pollock. Pollock, or the Falcons, puts it behind. It'll be controlled by Todd Flickel. Well, not quite, actually, as Shapelov's able to steal it away. Comes out onto the near side. Nice feed over to Mikhailov, and it's sent down to the corner. George Roll there wants to get it out of the zone. Does just that. Jamie Wansborough on the chase, but Mikhailov will be able to control it to Shepelov. Shepelov at center ice. Gets it right back. Near board. Deflected into the zone. George Roll trying to chase it down, but Mikhailov able to play the position. Wansborough steals it away. He cranks a shot right into the glove. And it'll be dropped down where Mikhailov will be able to pick it up. He leaves it behind. Controlled finally by Biakin. And he'll go way long to Shepelov. And you've got to watch these guys all the time. They kind of lull you when they come down one-on-one, and then bang, they're around you. Set up in front. Going to be cleared out of the Falcon zone. It'll go the length of the rink. Back chasing after it quickly is Martinov. He puts the touch on it before the icing call. And it goes back to Falcon. Stolen away. Ian Duncan. Ian Duncan played defense most of the year. Now been moved to forward. Paul Easbear shovels it into the corner. Duncan picks it up along the board. Duncan tripped up. Goes back down to Easbear. Easbear working it top. Wants Natashak. Tripped up. And will go into the corner rather harmlessly, as there to take it is Chizkioff. Sent out to center ice. Doug Claggett, another one of those freshmen, moving it along the red line. Dumped back into his own end. Sophomore Mike Natashak picks it up. Natashak can't clear it. Going to have to chase it down in the corner quickly as Martinov's right there with him. Try to freeze it up. Kicks it along the board. Easbear in to tie it up. And we'll get the face-off. Opening moments, period number 2. 9 seconds remaining on the 4-on-4 situation.
And then we see Mike Natashak. He's only a sophomore from the outside the Windsor area. And he's a big kid. He's very big, very strong. They expect big things out of him when he came as a freshman. He hasn't lived up to him, but he's improving day in and day out.
You guys didn't give him a chance last year with that championship team. Easbear along the board there, holds it along there and trying to get the face-off kicked out. Doug Claggett will go down after it. The Washington native, as both teams are on full strength, gets hit behind the board. Ian Duncan trying to dig it on the near side. Lose it to Orloff, who just came out of the penalty box, set out onto the point, held in there by Levenchev. He'll set it back down low, looking for Volgan. Volgan tries to set it in front to Orlov, loses it underneath himself, and Levenchev, the veteran, able to pick it up at the circle. Moves it back out to the point. Martinov, high shot. Kruzic knocks it up over the top of the crossbar. And again regained by Bowling Green's Natashak. Cannot clear it out. Duncan trying to do the honors. Can't do it. Orlov leaves it at the blue line. Brought across. Offside called on Spartak. And Ian Duncan and I believe Laurentian getting tied up with a break in the action. Let's pause for 30 seconds. 1-1 our score. Tries to clear it out. McKee able to grab it along the blue line, holds it in, but taken away once again by the Russians. Send it long. Orlov trying to break in. Pollock's going to have to work the angle on him. Set in front, and it goes wide. And Eason was the man that was trying to come in and follow the play up. Don Barber up the left side. Barber, nice beat. Pollock. Pollock, an offensive defenseman, sends it just wide of the goal mouth. Back out at the point, Brian McKee puts it toward the net, bounces off Dave Randerson out of the Spartak zone. And Eason sends it back long, going to be gathered in there by Chistyakov. He gives to Orlov, loved down by Brian McKee and picked up again by Kurcharenko. He's still moving up with it. Circle, pops a shot. Kruzic able to play it off onto the side. Orlov on top. Another shot. Glove by Kruzic. Takes a hit as he tries to gather it in from Sergei Varyevsky.
I don't think that was a flagrant hit as such as we see here. Kruzic from Chicago, he's up. He's always plays a shot out far, and he's just in the traffic, you know. And he's a tough kid. He'll get up, you know. He's one of the kids from Chicago. He'll always talk like he's from Chicago. Very proud of that fact. And I really don't think Varnovsky really meant to do it. He was just going for the rebound. And like I said, Gary Kruzic comes out and plays the angle very well, as any other goalie in collegiate hockey today. And he just got inside the traffic.
He kind of juggled that one as well, which I think tempted him a little more. Moving up ice, here comes Jeff Williams. He's got some speed. Williams moves in, cranks a shot high and wide. Claggett will hold it at the point, puts it on target. Galachimov is able to gather it in and will face off once again. With a break in the action, let's pause for 30 seconds. Our score is Spartak 1, Bowling Green 1. With some good chances to score. Face-off coming in the Spartak zone. Meharry to Claggett. Shot goes off the defenseman shins. Jeff Williams behind the net. Mikolov will take it away. They got a man way long. Falcons able to hold it in. Trying to take advantage of that. Meharry sets it wide on the angle. Claggett picks it up. Wants to put it down low. Intercepted by Spartak. Set it out center ice. It'll go way long. Todd Flicko will gather it in. Todd goes behind. Sets off. Sends it over to Gribble. Going to be stolen away. Picked up there by Biakin. And again, Todd Flickel tries to move in on it. Unsuccessful. Shalimov sets it out on top. Mikhailov deflected in nicely by Shepelev. What a nice little piece of stick work. A second goal of the night for Sergei Shepelev, and it's 2-1 Spartak.
That's an example of how well Spartak moves the puck around on the ice. Here we have number 23, Shalimov, a veteran with years of international experience, back to the Russian defenseman, number 4, Biankin. And there's Shepelev, second goal of the night, and all he did was redirect the puck. There was nothing fancy about it. Like I said, Gary Kruzic comes out, plays the angle, and Shepelev just redirected the puck past him, and it's now 2-1 for the Spartak team.
And we're back into the Spartak zone. Falcons want to tally here to knot things up again before Spartak buys a little bit of insurance. Moving on the far side, Richoff carries it in, still trying to work it, tried to set it in front. McKee playing the post there, did it well. Bryan gets it back, trying to move it up ice, shovels it into the corner. Natashak with it. Natashak tried to clear it again, deflected back in. Brian McKee retreats. McKee looks around, lofts it long and high. Back to retrieve. Fokin shovels off to Brentchev. He makes the big turn in his own end. Between the circles, gives it back to Chapelev. Check that, Fokin, 22, not 12, and they're up ice once again. Moving on the near side, Volgan carries it in at the circle, trying to go around McKee. Forced behind the net, still trying to make the play. Natashak in to tie things up with McKee, and will face off in the Falcon zone. With a break, why don't we pause for 30 seconds? Our score, Spartak 2, Falcons 1. Here tonight as Spartak leads by 1-2-1. Shot taken on the face-off, and Kruzic will send that one up for a souvenir. We had a correction on that, the assist on that clip. Second goal by Shepelev also.
It was from it was Shepelev, his second goal of the night, from number 26, Igor Bolkin, and number 23, Viktor Shalimov. And Shepelev, he's got great international experience, as does Shalimov. The two are really combining very well tonight.
Neeson sets it up ahead. Natashak trying to fight for it, and Neeson gets it back. Shoveled just wide on the play by Barnaski, and the Falcons will finally break up. Regan had it briefly, stolen back by Natashak. Natashak to the blue line. Mike carries it in. He's got a good hard shot. Leaves it behind for Regan. Trying to deflect it there. Rebound again into the pads. Still loose. Falcons trying to tally there and unable to do so. Regan wanted to hold it in. Could not. It's set into the doorstep again. Duncan overskates it. And the Russians having to do some scrambling here to keep the Falcons at bay. Anison moves up ice. Anison tries to break around one. Sends it just wide. Dave Randerson should be able to pick it up. Unmolested along the far side. Long to Duncan. Ian Duncan skating in. Duncan tracked down. Sends it wide. Will get the penalty. As Spartak makes touch here as Randerson gets it alive for Bowling Green. Nanashak backhands it, still controlling it, retreating. And finally whistled dead will get a trip as Ian Duncan was skating in all by himself. And in all honesty, there wasn't a whole lot that could be done by Chichisco there on that one.
Certainly was. And Ian Duncan, even though he got knocked down, he took the chance and tried to backhand it past Colosseum up. And you're so right on that. The puck went end to end like that. And that's the way I like to see this Bowling Green team play. It reminds us of our team as old, as you know. We're a good finesse team, but excellent skaters on this team. They're all young, and Duncan from Ontario has excellent speed. He's outside the Toronto area. You see Zimmin here. He looks a little bit concerned, and looks like his facial expression hasn't changed the whole game.
Face off in the Falcons with the man advantage once again. Wansbro wants to set it up long, cannot. Look out, 3-on-2 shorthanded break by Spartak. They leave it behind. Mikhailov a shot taken. Bolden with it right there as well, and it's held on to by Gary Kruzic. Well, how often do you see a 3-on-2 break shorthanded, Perry?
And that's exactly why the Russian team is so good. No matter whether you're 5-on-4 or even up, they always create their own opportunities, and had it not been for Gary Kruzic for another excellent save, this game could have been 3-1, and there's that insurance goal you're talking about early in the period.
Mikhailov and Bolden combining on that one to send the hearts aflutter of Bowling Green fans here at the Richfield Coliseum. Meharry behind his own net. Gary Kruzic watching on from the goal crease. Ryan Meharry, freshman centerman for the Falcons, crosses the red line and he'll dump it in. Karam's behind the net. Easbear there to pick it up. Easbear has it picked away by Biakin, and it's sent back out. Here's a 2-on-1 break once again. Biakin feeds it off onto the side. Mikhailov over to Biakin, and it's knocked into the pads of Gary Kruzic. Good anticipation by the cruiser as he got over to the post.
Checked it. I think that went in.
Did it go in? It must have.
It went
the red light is on.
Went through the pads of Gary Kruzic, and it was just a 2-on-1 opportunity. As we saw, number 26, Volkan pass it over to Biankin, and those are two defensemen rushing up the ice. And their style of play, they always move around. There was really no set position. They float a lot. They're always skating, and they always saw two defensemen on a 2-on-1 break on Brian Mahari, who's a freshman center playing defense, and they're excellent with the puck and the stick, and they now made a 3-1 and shorthanded goal.
And the Falcons still with the man advantage. Good piece of camera work there. Shows it clearly got by Gary Kruzic. Ryan McKee in the corner in their own end. Falcons with the man advantage for another minute 5. Duncan tries to deflect it in. Icing waved off on the play. Larkin was able to send it off onto the side. Russians try to break out again. Spartak down a man, but on the offensive here during this penalty. Claggett, blue line in his own end to McKee. McKee turns around, forced back behind his net. Kruzic stops it, leaves it there, sets it out, wants Randerson along the board. Going to be held in by Folkin, and he calmly moves it back. Martinov helping out, back to Folkin again in his own end. Spartak chipping away at the clock here. 32 seconds left on the penalty. Out to center ice. McKee has it, but going to have to wait for everyone to move on side. To Duncan. Duncan caroms it in. Barber going to try to give chase. Taken over by Laventia. He feeds it up ahead. Spartak in control right now. Volgan back deep in his own end again. Feed it out. Martinov just over the end of his stick. With 10 seconds left in the power play. Claggett for Bowling Green. Moves it to Duncan. Ian along the board, far side to McKee. McKee moves up ice. McKee has it taken away. Spartak back at full strength now. Folkin comes to the near side. Lavenchev set it back in again. Ucharenko, the man back on the ice, number 5. There is the Falcons 5. Claggett deflects it over for Randerson. Urban tried to move in front. Lifted too high into the air, and Jeff Williams feeds back. Flickle pops a shot. Going to be knocked down by the defense. Aram's back behind the net. Martinov being watched by Urban. Martinov leaves it for Volgan. Flickle along the board. Going to have to freeze it there. Waiting for everyone to move onside, now can move it back in, kicking it along, finally into the zone. Volkan bounces it. Kucherenko watches it. It goes long. Falcons going to have to put the touch on for the icing. With a break in the action, let's pause for 30 seconds. Our score, Spartak 3, Bowling Green 1. Aniston, the gentleman in the screen, as the face-off gets sent toward the Spartak net. Deflected wide, chasing in after it. Sergei Baranski set back out center ice. Working there again, Borisov. Borisov feeds it ahead, goes back again into their own end. Spartak just taking their time, waiting for the breaks here against this Falcon hockey team. Aniston, the gentleman we just talked about, trying to go around Pollock. Pollock holding him off. Jeff Williams there to help out. Andy Gribble in the corner to Pollock. Puts it to the blue line, held in. Borisov puts one on net, deflected and saved by Kruzic. Kucherenko puts it in and just wide, as Gary, I think, got just a hair of that one, not much more. Aniston sets it back up. Kucherenko again, a shot. Orlov sets it wide, goes into the corner. Bowling Green trying to control it and clear it out of their zone. 10-12 left to go in the second period. Another shot knocked down by Rob Urban. Picking it up, Pollock sets it long for Urban. Deflected by Gribble. Just couldn't control enough of it to create any offense. Kucherenko puts it back into his own end. Viakin sets it way long. It'll bounce into the Falcon zone. Icing going to be waved off. Pollock puts the touch on it. Pollock has it over to Flickle. Flickle starts moving up, sends long Easbear. Easbear at center ice, won't be able to control it. And once again, Spartak is there to make the play. I believe it's Richkov. They move up ice. Nice flowing moves there by Shepelev. Cuts it into the slot. Nice drop pass. Wanted Nikolov. Couldn't get it to him. And Bowling Green turns it around. Andy Gribble on the far side. Nice move inside. Wants George Roll. Couldn't get it, and it's sent long once again. Out to the neutral zone. Here comes Shepelev. Got to watch him once again. Feeds it behind. Mikhailov back again. Shot up the side of the net and in. Once again, Gary Kruzic just pretty much picked clean as Mikhailov and Shepelev there just kind of took turns whacking away on the rebounds.
Well, that was a 4-on-2 opportunity there as there's Shepelev, and that's his third goal of the game. He's an international star. From the national team that's been in the 84 and 88. As we see it here, it's a 4-on-2 situation, and that's all created by the movement of the puck. There's Shepelev coming down, drops it back to Mikhailov, back to Shepelev, back to Mikhailov, and then Shepelev in the empty net. And that's all because they don't hang on to the puck. They're always moving it around. Bang, bang, bang.
Sent behind the Spartak net. They now have a 4-1 lead with 9:06 remaining in the second period. Dave Randerson says, come on, guys, we got to get one back here. Gribble wants to set it in front for Bilesma, and it bounces off the back of the net, comes to the near side. Mikhailov sends it up on ice, controlling it onto the near side. Shalamov rips into the Bowling Green zone. And Spartak will carry it behind. Nice job on the play there. Believe Doug Claggett, the gentleman who got it back for Bowling Green, sets it ahead. Randerson, nice feed on the side. Gribble, a shot goes wide. Rebound will bounce out across the blue line. Claggett trying to freeze it up there while everyone moves onside. Bilesma trying to make the play, and it finally whistles dead.
We're seeing the Spartak team put on a clinic here. They do not hang on to the puck for a long time. They're always moving around, bang, bang, bang. I think that's a good lesson for those viewers out there in our areas all around North America. When you have the puck, always keep your head up. They always have their head up and always looking for somebody to throw to in an area. They don't throw it a person, they throw to an area, and they don't hang on to the puck for any great length of time.
Gentlemen looked very happy, and he had good reason. That Shepelev with a hat trick tonight. 4-1, Spartak over Bowling Green. Here they come again. Volgan stops, puts the brakes on. Nice feed to a streaking Richkov. Back again to Volgan, feed it back. Martinov, a shot taken, deflected by the Falcon defense. Bowling Green's Barber moves it ahead. Gives it back on the side, Shirky to Barber. Barber trying to move along, leaves it behind. Wanted Meharry and stolen away by Richkov. Bowling Green trying to hold it in. They move it to the blue line. Barber picks it up. Barber, nice move around one. Feeds it back down low. Meharry can't draw the string back on it. Barber will put it into the corner to Brian Meharry. Meharry for Bowling Green. Leaves it and now loses it. Laurentiev there again. He comes out on the near side. Puts it over. Richkov right up the middle. Here they come. Laurentiev on the far side. Richkov again. Puts it back down low. On net, Gary Kruzic sits on it because moving in quite nicely was Sergei Fokin. Want to remind you, between periods, Got a couple interviews. Walter Bush will be our guest, the vice president of the U.S. Amateur Hockey Association, and Alexander Kozhevkov, one of the injured players for Sparta, will be our guest as well. So some interesting information coming your way between periods 2 and 3. Hope you'll stay tuned. Regan on the face-off on the far side against Anison. It goes to Brian McKee in his own end. Wants Ian Duncan. Ian pushes it out of the Falcon end. And back to retrieve is Borisov. Todd Flickel waits an offside call as Dave Randerson was trapped in his own end.
One thing I think that Bowling Green has to do is they're really not out of this game 4-1 by any stretch of the imagination. What they have to do is they're going away from what they did in the first period. Now is stay in their lanes and stay, as we see Todd Flickel, a kid from Canada, Ontario, just outside of Ottawa. And they got to stay in their lanes, and it's a worried Coach Jerry York and equipment manager Don Woods over there seeing a game get out of their hands right now.
Face-off put behind the Spartak net. They try to move it there. Orloff feeds it long, taken away again. Dave Randerson. Randerson waits, got the man on side. That was Duncan, and now they'll move it in. Ian tries to pull it along the board. The big, strong kid from Western Ontario loses it to Anison, and Anison starts up ahead, trying to do a little cherry picking, and Brian McKee was there to stop it. However, still controlled by Barnevsky. Duncan gets it back. Wants to feed Dave Randerson, deflected in the neutral zone. Anison again brings it back around, controlling it in his own end. Anison sets way long, trying to split. There's Barnevsky. He leaves it for Orlov. Orlov comes in. 3-on-2 break. Back again to Barnevsky. Shot will go up high on the glass. Karam's along the railing, and it'll be held in by Kucherenko. Sets it down low. Again, Orlov in front. Kucherenko trying to go around McKee. Poke checked it away. Brent Regan ups it to Dave Randerson. Randerson tried to feed it ahead, wanted Brent Regan, but you've got a tired line out there, and they say, let's make a change. Ian Duncan says, who, me, tired? Let's go. Up again. Borisov leaves it. Orloff checked on the play by Duncan. Ian wanted to push it ahead to Easbear. Has it to Paul. Along the blue line, has to wait now. Easbear, center ice. Claggett dumps it in. Chasing it again is Easbear. Sent along to the far side. Wansbro has it slide through. Fans cheering a check there in the corner. Up ice once again. Here comes Bolkin, and offside call. No, we're going to get a pair of penalties. Scott Pollock will be skating off for Bowling Green, and it'll be Orlov, I believe, for Spartak.
And we're looking at number 26 for the Spartak team, Igor Bolkin, their fine defenseman, a young defenseman who got an assist on Spartak's third goal on a 2-on-1 play. And this is another situation like the start of the period, a 4-on-4 situation where the Bowling Green team really has to, be careful here. Stay with your men, play it on a 1-on-1 situation, and really don't get sucked in by following the passes. Because this Spartak team, as we've seen, on a 5-on-5 situation is very dangerous, and now you're giving them more ice and more space to work with and move that puck around.
5:40 remaining in the second period. 4-1 Spartak. They hold it in. We're 4-on-4 at the blue line. Picked up again by Bolkin. Leaves it behind for Mikhailov. He kind of pushes it toward Bolkin, and they can't control it. Bring it up ice. Jamie Wansbro for Bowling Green. Tries to split the defense. Now will go around. Going to be handled by Shepilov. He's got 3 goals already. Wansbro steals it. Back to Easbear, and the Falcons. Paul Easbear puts it in the back of the net. Galashimov kind of pulled on the play. I don't think he thought Jamie Wansbro was going to get to it, and Jamie did a good job of dishing it back out in front for Paul Easbear. It's 4-2.
So true, and I saw Paul Easbear, it's his first goal tonight, and I really don't think that Galashimov really knew what was happening out there. Wansbro just shoveled it in very harmlessly. Galashimov stopping it for number 12, Shepilov, the international star. He just got stripped by Jamie Wansbro. And Jamie, a kid from Toronto, passing it to another kid from Toronto, and Paul Easbear. He's only a freshman. He got his first goal tonight, his 13th on the year, and Bowling Green is back into this game 4-2.
Boy, did you see Jamie stretch out to get that centering pass on that replay? Back to the live action. Spartak in control. Volgan says, come on, we'll show these whippersnappers. Volgan leaves it out on top. He'll send it too far. Was overskating it was Levenchev. Volgan there. Back to Levenchev. Levenchev to Volgan. Volgan trying to make the play. He's got Volgan back with him there. And instead we'll go to the other side. Able to hit Martinoff. Martinoff Leaves it behind again. Finally, Falcon will take it. They got a man way down deep. Try to center him. Deflected in. Nice play. They won't be able to take advantage of it. George Roll along the board. George trying to dig it. Got it out to Jeff Williams, but Jeff can't control it. Leggett trying to freeze it along the board. And it'll finally go back to Falcon in his own end. Martinoff. Martinoff for Spartak. Feeds it ahead. Slowly, Falcon. Lebenciev, nice feed onto the left wing. It'll drift into the corner. Brian Meharry after it, puts the touch on it. Meharry comes out of his own end. 4:15 to go. Bad pass. Martinoff right down the middle. Stopped by Kruzic, but he can't hold it out. It drifted just across the line. And Gary's going to look at Brian Hart all day and say, come on, give me a break.
He sure is, but to no avail, as we clearly saw up here. The puck did go across the line, and it was just a freshman mistake from number 22, Brian Meharry, a kid from Toronto, Ontario, and he just lost the puck. He really wasn't sure what to do with it, and jolly on the spot is number 7, Igor Martinoff, and he just blew it right by Gary Cruz, who got a piece of it, but it got between the blocker and the body, and it just trickled across the lines. We saw right there. To no avail from Doug Claggett, from Seattle, Washington. He's also a freshman. He could not do anything about it, and Martinoff makes the score 5-2 for Russia.
Gary Kruzic says, although I'm 5'9", I wish I had the reach of someone 6'10". It's against the back of the net. Kalashimov is able to hold it there and will face off again. Gary's a delightful sophomore goaltender. Fun guy to talk to.
Well, if you see Sergei Kalashimov there holding his team to a 5-2 lead right now. It looks like he's really settled down this period so far.
Don Barber, who has one goal, tried to follow up his face-off and get another. And Eason sends it back down low. Eason watching on now as Barber comes after it. Don trying to freeze it along the board. He'll get the face-off. 3:48 left to go. Both teams are back at full strength. Let's pause for 30 seconds with our score. Spartak 5, Bowling Green 2.
How can a guy...
Coming in the Spartak zone, Scott Bilesma sends it behind the net, comes back out onto the near side. Moreski sends it way long, look out. Michaelov moving in, pops the shot. Kruzic with the stop, knocked wide on the rebound by Brian McKee. Spartak putting pressure on here. Here comes Brian McKee. McKee, the defenseman, to Don Barber, who will lift it into the Spartak zone. On the far side again, picked up by Barnowski. Set to the blue line. Natashak intercepts. Mike, a converted forward to the defensive spot, wants to put some pressure on and goes way deep on the play. Upended on it. Comes back out to the point. Andy Gribble sets it down low. Taken by Bilesma. Trying to freeze it there. Pushing the man away. Centers it back. Shot by Barber into the pads of Kalashimov, and he finally hangs on.
Good job by the Bowling Green team there. On that last shift there, we had 3 freshmen and a couple of sophomores. And it's just Scotty Bilesma from Michigan and Mike Natashak's crew taking the puck up, and Donnie Barber, a kid from out my area, out from the Vancouver area in British Columbia. And Kalashimov jolly on the spot again. They've been coming around the net, and I really think he really sees them coming out from behind that net. And this time, unlike Kenny Wansboro, he made the save.
Regan pops a shot on the face-off. Nice piece of stick work by Brent. Looks like he's been watching Anisin a little bit there. And Shepelev, Randerson along the side. It pops up into the air again. Frozen along the boards. Finally sent out center ice. Scott Pollock goes back to get it. The Illinois native, a freshman at Bowling Green this year, sets it out center ice zone. Tipped back into the Spartak zone. Controlled there by Shepelev. Shepelev sends it way long, trying to bounce it off the boards. Wants Shalamon, and going to be broken up briefly. Comes back onto the near side. Working there, Biatkin. Back out on top. Mekalov sends it toward the net. Gary Kruzic will hold on with 2:26 left. Again, Walter Bush will be our guest between periods 2 and 3, the vice president of the U.S. Amateur Association. I want to hand them a fine compliment for the job they've done in hosting this Spartak team all across the Midwestern United States. Also, one of the Spartak greats, not in uniform with a knee injury, Alexander Kosimanov, will be our guest. So stay tuned, won't you? Shot on the face-off. Kruzic says same thing. We'll just hold on here. 2:21 to go, and Perry Braun, you just don't want to give up a goal in the final 2 minutes of any period.
Not to a team like this, when you're already down 5-2 with only 2 minutes and 21 seconds left. You hate to go into the dressing room 6-2. You're so right. The momentum shifts back to Russia, and really Bowling Green has really played well this last 2 or 3 minutes.
Viakin of Spartak carries it to his own end at the blue line, reverses direction, and starts heading toward Bowling Green zone, but tipped away there. Mikhailov will be able to control it, tries to feed it up ahead. Nice move on the near side. Shalamov playing on the wing, right side, sets it in front off the skates of the Falcon defender Flickel. Set back on top. Duncan with a dive deflects it away from Mikhailov. Moving in, Shepelov wants to get his fourth goal of the night. Deflected away into the corner. Shalamov holding on to it. Shalamov sends it back down low. Believe it's Fatkin. Move it on the side. Shalamov wants to find once again Ilya Biakin. Biakin on the far side, working it along the board. Shepelev sends it long and deflected off the skate. Move it back on the near side. Shepelev right into the middle. Falcons get an awful lot of time here. Bounces right back out in front. Pollock to Duncan, but they can't clear it out of the zone. 1:20 remaining in the second period of play. Moving in again. Nice move. Backhander, and my, oh my. We've got to see the replay on that one.
That was all Victor Shalamov there, and you know, I really couldn't believe he walked in untouched. You know, it's like Michael Jordan going in for a layup, untouched, and it was like Victor Shalamov slam dunk there, and that really hurts. That really hurts there. Bowling Green, we talked about them not giving up this goal, and Victor Shalamov, Brent Regan, Scott Pollock, both freshmen, just left them to Gary Kruzitz, and there's really nothing you can do in a situation like that. That's all the forward. Really has the opportunity to really score like that, and Victor Shalamov put it away.
Now you feel bad for those two guys. However, Victor Shalamov's done that to a couple other international stars as well, I'm sure. It's sent long into the Spartak zone. Jamie Wansbrough and Paul Easbeer say, hey, I got one just a few minutes ago. Let's get back in this thing. George Roll has it in the corner. George trying to move it out front. Deflected away by Fulkin. Roll gets it back. We're down to a minute in the period. Behind the net, Easbeer wants Wansbrough. Jamie can't get the stick on it. Sets it back. Easbeer shot into the pads. Rebound. Held on to by Galushimov, and will face off with 52 seconds left.
This line of Paul Easbeer, Jamie Wansbrough, and George Roll really clicking. Jamie, junior from Toronto, off to Paul Easbeer, a freshman, who was looking for his second goal tonight. And Galushimov come up equal to the task and made a really very nice save off Paul Easbeer, who took a lesson from the Russians. He didn't stick out on the puck, just one-timed it onto that. And, you know, it's like we talked about lots of times up here, is anything can happen when you get it on the net. Doesn't have to be hard, but just on the net.
Sent behind the Spartak net. Olaf tries to get it across the blue line, and apparently he did, because Doug Claget's waiting for everyone to move on side. Easbeer tries to chase it down. Orloff will be there to regain it. Here they come again. Drop it back, Anissa. Anissa feeds off onto the side, moving in. Borisov. Borisov feeds it down low. Bernowski still moving in on the net. Kruzic watches as it's tipped wide. Jamie Wansbrough starts up ice. Wansbrough, nice move around one. Backhands it down into the zone. 20 seconds remaining in the second period of action. Again, Walter Bush, one of our guests between periods of the Amateur Hockey Association. Wansbrough at the blue line, tried to clear it out. Russians just not giving up. Spartak putting pressure on again. Anisin set in front. Kruzic with the stop, and he hangs on with 3 seconds left.
Very dangerous there, and there was an opportunity there for Russians to go in the dressing room 7-2, which really would have been downhearting for the Bowling Green people. As you see, Gary Kruzitz is a product of the A-House program for the United States Amateur Hockey Association, a kid from Chicago, Illinois. And I'm sure with your interview, Walter Bush will enlighten all our viewers just exactly what the A-House program is.
Every now and then you get the pleasure of meeting a gentleman, and I did meet a gentleman this evening in Walter Bush. Face-off drop, buzzer sounds, and we finish the second period of action. And unfortunately, the scoreboard isn't quite as pleasing to Bowling Green fans as that first period was. We finished the first 20 minutes at 1-1, and now we've gone through 40 minutes in this hockey game, and it's 6-2. Again, Walter Bush, our guest between periods. Stay tuned for that. Right now, we're going to pause for 60 seconds with our score from the Richfield Coliseum. From the Soviet Union, Spartak 6 and Bowling Green State University Falcons 2.
This is a game to be very relaxed, and I'm sure Zimini's talking over strategy with his number one goaltender, if you want to put that, Viktor Tereshikov. And he's trying to get his team ready, and Coach York, on the other hand, he's telling his kids, just be relaxed. It's an exhibition game. Let's try and work on some fundamentals, like staying in our alleys and our lanes. And we see Golovshimov, who's had a very steady game. He's bounced around, a couple of soft goals, I'd say, but that's lack of action he's really had.
Bowling Green plays Michigan in their next Central Collegiate Hockey Association contest, and I'd like to see if there's that many smiles on the Falcon bench and on the Falcon players' faces. We start the third period Friday and Saturday against the Wolverines, as there were here just now. Kind of nice to see the two teams, I think, just enjoying the company of each other and the spirited play that we've observed in the first two periods.
Yeah, as we look at the Bowling Green bench, it's a loose bench right now. You want to win this game. That's your ultimate goal. But if you don't, go out and have some fun and really learn from these great individuals out here on the Spartak team. And they're throwing a clinic as they did in the second period. I'm sure we'll see one in the third period.
If you can't tell from that last shot, brown and orange are the Bowling Green State University Falcon colors. We're underway, period number 3, 6-2, Spartak in the lead. And we're down to 1953. George Roll in the corner, digging hard. Easbear wants to help him out. They send it back out on the far side. Going to be controlled by Todd Flickel at center ice. Flickel moves it to Wansbro. Jamie steps in. Wansbro, top of the circle, gets pushed off the play. Good defensive play by Biakin. Wansbro looking for it in front from Easbear. They went the other way in the second period. No luck this time. Once again, it's Bolden for Spartak. Moves it up ahead. Nice feed onto the side. Shapelev, who we've heard a lot of tonight. Easbear gives it again to Jamie Wansbro. Wansbro with a head of steam. Wansbro gets through. Jamie moving in, pulled from behind, and then we're going to get a call on the play. Gary Kruzic scurries out of the net on the opposite end, but the whistle sounds, and we're going to get a little bit of a hook as Jamie Wansbro suddenly popped through there. Jamie without a great deal of speed, but just the same, shows what he's got right there.
And that's the only thing Valen Mikhailov could do. Jamie Wansbro, he's a big sniper on this team. He's a junior from the Toronto area. Came out of the St. Michael's hockey program in Toronto, a program with a lot of tradition. And he's a kid that for his first 2 years has got 60 goals plus in only 72 games. This year he's off leading the team again in scoring. And you can't let a guy walk in like that dangerously, so Valen Mikhailov had to do the only thing he could do and pull him down.
Face off, and here comes Spartak. Bogan will feed it back long. He has Fokin. Fokin wants Martinek. Sends it way long out on top, and again held in by Leentchev. Ian Duncan trying to make the play. Leentchev brings it in, feeds it down. Martinoff, the defenseman, in way deep, gets it back. Brian Meharry for Bowling Green. Meharry looks things over. Meharry wanted Randerson. Dave lets it slide through. Falcons try to keep the pressure on as it rolls into the Spartak zone, and Leentchev at center ice controls once again. Falcons send it back to their end. McGee across his own blue line to the red line. Drips off to the left. Cranks a shot, shatters a stick, and it'll roll behind the net. Duncan and Randerson trying to battle for it. Kicked in front. Gribble to Meharry. Meharry turns, fires a shot, saved. Back into the corner. Gribble kicks it to Duncan. Way out on top, Brian Meharry. Meharry working it, sends it crossed ice. Falcons on a power play. Gribble dumps it toward the net, and it rolls all the way back out to the blue line. Meharry misfired on it, has to move out. 50 seconds left on the power play of Bowling Green. Back treading. Mikhailov, the Spartak player in the penalty box, as McKee in his own end starts it up ice. Falcons could cut the lead to half here if they can tally on this power play. Gribble puts it behind the net. Randerson trying to dig it along with Duncan. Ian up with it. Duncan looking out to the point. Meharry. Meharry on the right side. Shot going to be knocked wide. Spartak sends it way long. Leentchev was the man that they were trying to hit on the quick break, and it was just a little long. Brian Meharry back behind to Gary Kruzic. Claggett out the left side. Claggett moving it, trying to deflect it. Get an icing call, and Spartak puts the touch on it here, and it goes back.
Good job by the Spartak defensive unit there. They're a team that, when they're trying to kill a penalty, a lot of traditional styles is to set up in a box. They play more of a rotation style. There's no set positions, there's no defenseman, there's no forwards, and you sort of protect an area or a zone, and they really kept Bowling Green outside that area. And had it not been for a few miscues on the passes, Laurentius could have had a breakaway and made this game 7-2.
Move it out on top, and Lysenko touches it just as Mikhailov is able to move back onto the playing surface. Both teams at full strength. Ovalov is able to send it deep into the Falcon zone. Bowling Green trying to rush it up. They get it out to center ice. It'll be controlled there, however, by Borisov. Borisov feeds off onto the right side, comes back onto the near side. Wants to go to Varnovsky. Picking it up once again. Anisin, he cranks a shot. It'll go off of Doug Clagett's knee wide and holds up on the back of the net. Breaking the action. Let's pause for 30 seconds. Our score: Spartak 6, Falcons 2. Trying to dig it. Todd once again loses it. Anisin, the gentleman there again. Anisin brings it out on top of the circle. Wants to go down low. Had Barnovsky, and he couldn't quite make it toward the net, so he pulls it back out. Sent long. Brian Meharry going to try to put the Jets on. And back to retrieve. Borisov's able to control. He gets it off to Lysenko. Lysenko loses it. Centered by Harry. No one there to take it. Scott Pollock steps in. Shot will go wide by the Falcon defenseman. Goes all the way back into the Bowling Green zone. Trouble here. Orlov able to pick it up. Puts it into the corner. They set it across onto the side. And Eason shovels it wide. Back in front again. Meharry steals it away. Meharry tries to thread the needle to Don Barber. Barber leaves it back for Gribble. Gribble has to wait. Move on side. Meharry with it. He shoots and it's saved. You know, we've talked about the U.S. Amateur Association here and the Russians. It gets a little more international, however, as the Canadians here as well. We see a couple of them working.
We sure do. And here's one of those Canadians, a freshman from Toronto, Brian Meharry, who takes a harmless shot on Golashimov there. And outside that area, it's not a good high percentage shot area. But like you said, this Bowling Green team is composed of people from Canada, from the U.S., from both West and East Coast. And that's a tribute to the recruiting efforts of Coach Jerry York and Buddy Powers.
Mike Natashak back in his own end, puts it ahead. Dave Randerson deflects it. Going to go a little long. If Spartak's Mikhailov touches it, which he does, we get the icing call. We'll go back to the other end. And why don't we pause for 30 seconds with our score: Spartak 6, Bowling Green 2. Action. Mike Natashak behind his own net gives to teammate Doug Claggett. Falcons break out of their own end. Here comes Jeff Williams. He does have some jets. Bring across. Fires a shot. Score! The little freshman from Illinois hammers one home and the lead's cut 6-3. What a pretty move by Jeff Williams as he came across another product of the Illini State. And he gets the crowd kind of fired up here with the first goal of the third period.
And this is what we talked about, that recruiting effort from, East and West Coast on both Canadian and U.S. side. Jeff Williams gets a pass from Doug Claggett, another freshman from the Issaquah, Washington area, just outside of Seattle. Jeff Williams, a speedster of the Illinois, he's a walk-on, and he put a top shelf on Golashimov, a great shot, and gives some fire to this team. It's 6-3, and they're back into it.
Got a feeling Jeff Williams isn't going to fall asleep easily tonight. Here he comes again. Jeff being knocked down, puts it toward the crease, and it's knocked away by Spartak. They'll bring it back the other way now, quickly moving up with it there. Volgan, now he retreats. Just look at the patience being displayed here by Spartak. They move it back up again. Levenchev sends it long onto the right side to Volgan. Volgan at the circle. Has to go wide with it, brings it back out, wants to come to the point. Marnak, a shot deflected by Dave Randerson wide. Natashak into the corner trying to get it. Claggett picks it up in the corner against the board. Toward the net, Gary Kruzic puts that one off. Kind of thought Gary would hang on to it, but he's keeping play going here. Back out at point. Marnak sends it down low. Volgan at the point again, near side. Retreating. Levenchev, and this time Gary does hold on to it. He looks over and there's Yuri Richkov, and he says, Yuri, not this time.
So true, and we're just getting an announcement now of the goal. There's another Illini product, George Rowe, a friend of mine, a line mate for my 4 years I was there, and he's a senior captain. I expect big things out of him. He's from the Chicago area, and always a consistent player. One of the best cornermen I've seen in college hockey these days, and another product of what Walter Bush said, a good and growing strong A-Health program in the United States.
We've certainly been entertained by some of the products of that system here this evening. The Falcons, Brian McKee brings it up ice. Brian McKee, a defenseman, sends it long into the Spartak zone. Jamie Wansbrough going after it. Man falls down, still loose. Easbear behind the net. Easbear trying to control it. Easbear at the circle. Easbear, some nice moving. Gets it back to Jamie. Wansbrough puts it up into the air. It'll bounce into the corner. Controlled there by Eason as he's able to get it down low. Wansboro turns, he shoots just wide. Jamie doesn't miss on many of those. It's held up on the board, knocked down by Pollock. Pollock in front, deflected wide. Pulled down there, we're going to get a penalty called on Jamie Wansboro, and the Falcons touch it. McKee has it, and Jamie will go off too for holding. Jamie gives a who me look, but I don't think there was much doubt about that one, was there?
There really wasn't. It's one of those funny things when you're out on the ice and you really got the momentum pumped up, and really Bowling Green has, since that Jeff Williams goal, come out and really pen the Soviet team in with good forechecking, and Paul Easberg controlling the puck like you were saying. I think you mentioned his name 7 times there in about a minute, because he was controlling the puck, and Jamie Wansboro, he was just being aggressive, and he went to jump over the Soviet player to get the puck, and he just grabbed him, and they both went down the ice, and he's sitting off a 2-minute penalty, and it's disheartening because it takes away from your momentum.
Again, Gary Kruzic doesn't like this, but we haven't gotten to see too much of the Spartak power play. They bring it down low. Bolden gives it out to Mikhailov. Mikhailov gets it back down low. Shepelov. Shepelov moves along, gives it back again. They send it long. Falcons successful in that effort. I believe Todd Flickle, the tall gentleman that did the honor that time. Mikhailov behind his own net, starts it up ice. Blue line, feeds it over onto the far side to Shalamov. Shalamov, nice feed right down the middle, moving in. Shot goes just wide by Biakin behind the Falcon net. Spartak trying to dig it there, trying to freeze it up, set in front, across the crease, shots, goal. Again, hard work and perseverance by Spartak, that time paying off, and my goodness, is that once again Sergei Shepelev that put that one in the back of the net?
That sure is, but you can credit that goal to Ilya Biakin there. He did a lot of the work in that zone, and once again they lulled you to sleep. There's Biakin going in, and it just went off his stick. I think Gary Cruz would have made the save. He hustled on the puck. He beat Todd Flickle in the corner, and there's Shepelev cruising in around there, and there's a pass and bang upstairs, and now it's 7-2. It's Shepelev with 4 goals tonight and an assist, and he's having himself one whale of a game.
He just shrugs it off and says all in a night's work. In the corner, Spartak zone. Falcons trying to dig it. Don Barber, who had the first Falcon tally, not able to control. Move it up ice. Bogan moves up. Laurentiev tries to set it down low. Gary Kruzic looks wide, and it goes back over. Natashak digging behind the corner, trying to hold it there. Natashak trying to freeze it, now kicks it loose, sets it up ahead. Back behind the Falcon net, going over there, Doug Claggett. Claggett touches it. Claggett trying to move it along. Bouncing up in the air, Meharry back to Barber. There on the spot, playing good position hockey once again. Levenchiev sends it out long. Mike Natashak for Bowling Green. On the far side, Rob Urban threads the needle once on Fokin, but there to take it, Levenchiev. He gives to Martinov. Again, Levenchiev, red line, moves right down the rink, holding it, drops it behind. Quick shot by Richkoff, and it goes wide. Brian Meharry comes out on the left side, stops in front of his own net, carries it behind, wants to set things up. Trying to break out, Rob Urban puts it to the blue line, not across. Claggett can't control. Levenchiev pots a shot. Rebound will go over to Meharry. Meharry to Don Barber out of the zone. Back retrieving it once again for Spartak is German Volgan. He's down the middle. Nice move there. Gets by one, but Andy Gribble said no thank you this time. Fokin again, back in his own end. He's one of the younger players on the Spartak team at 21. Sent into the Spartak zone. Andy Gribble tripped up, and we're going to see a Falcon power play. We should give some credit to Gary Kruzic on that last goal. That was a power play goal by Shepelev as well. I don't know if we mentioned that.
I don't think we did. And here's the replay of it. Number 19, he just got beaten by Andy Gribble there, a kid out of Toronto, blessed with great speed and an excellent shot. They're expecting big things from him in the future. And Yuri Richkoff is off for 2 minutes for tripping, and this is a good opportunity for Bowling Green to come out and have a good power play, get a tally, get a score, and really get this crowd into the game again. It's a fine crowd here in Richfield, Ohio, and they're watching a good game.
Face off, Meharry cranks it right down the middle, save, rebound in there, Wansboro, but he couldn't get to it quickly enough. Aneeson sends it long. Meharry steps up, breaks up a 2-on-1. Aneeson gets it right back. Aneeson trying to move across the blue line, leaves it long. Barevsky, he moves in, gets around Meharry. No, he doesn't. Nice job by Brian Meharry to pull that one back. Meharry out to Easberg. Easbear showing some of his style, sends it long. Wansbrough in the corner. Jamie back behind to Easbear. Easbear wanted Jamie, sent it a little bit too long. Biatkin will control it along the boards. Biatkin digging hard there along with Wansbrough, and Easbear. Now we get some pushing and shoving. We talked earlier about Jamie Wansbrough developing as an all-around player and not being afraid to go in, and he shows it there as well. With a break in the action, why don't we pause for 30 seconds? Our score is 7-3 Spartak. Again, a Falcon power play opportunity with Richkoff in the penalty box. Picked up McKee. McKee with a good hard shot for such a short stick. Holds it at the blue line. Sends it long. Wanted Easbear. Easbear picks it up. Sends it down low. Roll will let it slide through. Wansbrough. Wansbrough back to George Roll. A little bit too hard. Couldn't handle it. Meharry comes in. Shovels it back down. Wants Roll. Meharry still working along the board. Gets it to George Roll. Goes toward the net. Sent back behind. Wansbrough up with it. He's got a man in front. Shot taken. We're going to have a penalty. And I think we'll see a trip or a cross-check against Spartak. So it'll be a two-man advantage for Boulin Green for the next 57 seconds as Lysenko will go off for two on a cross-check, I believe is the call as we watch it again.
And that's George Roll doing some great work in there. Handed off to Jamie Wansbrough. I sort of questioned him walking out with it like that. We saw Paul Easbear in front of the net, and there we saw the cross-check, a flagrant cross-check, and you really hate to see that, especially as a hockey player, because you sure know you're in a hockey game when you get smacked in the back like that. And Alexander Lysenko is going off for a 2-minute penalty, and that gives Boulin Green 57 seconds of a 5-on-3 advantage, and we'll get to see how the Russians react to this.
Certainly Perry Braun never had a penalty in his 4 years of college hockey at Boulin Green, did he?
Never saw that side of the ice at all.
Sent down low, I will admit very seldom, but I won't believe never. George Roll along the board. Two-man advantage for Boulin Green. McKee to Meharry. Back to Easbear to McKee. Moving it around the perimeter. Meharry leaves it to Easbear. Easbear cranks one high. It bounces back down. McKee trying to get it. We're going to get a hand pass if the Falcons touch it. Trying to wait for it. Jamie with a smart play, but Wansbrough can't control it. George Roll does. George sets it in front. Easbear back out on top. Meharry shovels it back. McKee back to Meharry near side. Meharry from the point. Easbear stepping in front. Knocked down Roll. Tried to get the shot away, and he was hung up. Gets pulled down from behind. Spartak loses it again. McKee a shot score! Brian McKee with just 18 seconds left in the two-man advantage. Boulin Green will have another 1 minute and 21 seconds of the man advantage and could conceivably find themselves back in this hockey game.
And you can credit that to the hard work of George Roll, the senior captain out of Chicago, Illinois, who did some excellent forechecking in the corner after coughing up the puck in front of the net. And he just stripped it away from the defenseman. And it was either almost a giveaway or a strip away, and it came right out to Brian McKee, another freshman from the Toronto area who possesses a fantastic shot. And there's nobody between him and the goal except for Jamie Wansbrough. And Jamie acting as a screen. And I think Golashimov really saw the puck and went between his legs, and now it's 7-4.
Jamie being real sportsmanlike and moving out of the way, wasn't he?
Didn't want to get hit by the puck, that's for sure.
It goes down behind the net, trying to work for it. Picking it up, controlled, in front again by the Falcons, still with the man advantage here. It goes to Randerson. Randerson trying to close it in. Move it back onto the other side. We've got a goal change for the Falcons during that play as well. And here's kind of a heartwarming story. There's two Boulin Green high school graduates that are on this team, and Eddie Powers is in the net for Boulin Green now. He's a local kid, made good at the big school, and it's a real thrill and a half for Eddie Powers, and I know his parents are here, as I know Tom Shirky's parents are as well. Comes back on top. Pollock over to Barber. Barber a shot off the side. Almost had one. 47 seconds left on the man advantage. Move it behind. After it, Barber leaves it on the post. Back around onto the point. Pollock going to try to hold it. No such luck. Here comes Levenchev. 2-on-1. Carries it across the blue line. Cranks a shot. Powers with the save, and Eddie's got to be happy. Some Boulin Green natives cheering him along there on that one. Knocked again by Duncan into the Spartak zone. 23 seconds left on the Lysenko penalty. Falcons trying to tally again. Oop, give it away. Levenchev moves up ice. Fakes once. Tries to go around Claggett. Claggett plays the man nicely and gives it up to Pollock. Pollock against the board. Pollock moves it up ice. Pollock still with the play. Leaves it behind. Barber loses it. Wanted to go back to Pollock and they couldn't complete it. Levenchev starts up ice. We're all at full strength again. Long lead pass to Lysenko, and Claggett watches. Centered, comes out against the board. Boulin Green's Duncan sets it way long. Back to retrieve. No icing going to be called. Lebenciev out of his own end. Leaves it behind for Volgan. Volgan waits, stops, turns, feeds it onto the near side. Again, Lysenko, who just got out of the penalty box, leaves it behind. Andy Gribble going after it. Gribble feeds it behind. They've got Urban in front. They wanted it to Williams. Back again. Urban with a chance and diving on it as it's still loose. Backhander Natashak into the crowd. Controlled again by Borisov. Borisov shovels it ahead. They wanted Lebenciev long, couldn't. Natashak takes a spill. Mike gets back up, picked up by Gribble. Gribble, nice speed. Jeff Williams, 2-on-1 if they hurry, 2-on-2 now. Urban a shot, save. Back down low in front to Urban. He can't complete it. Look out. 3-on-1 if the Spartak squad hurries. They do. Up ice, backhander, and it goes off the post, did not go in. Panovsky was the gentleman who had open net and couldn't get the handle on it. Back into the corner, working there. Orlov looks. Orlov at the circle. Orlov makes the turn, puts it behind the net. Set in front by Varensky again. Urban going to chase it down long? No. Getting there first, Borisov. Borisov sets it ahead. Again, Varensky sets it behind. Anisin wanted to go back again. Tipped by Bowling Green. 7-4 our score. 6:40 left to play. Third period of action. Spartak on top of Bowling Green. Shot knocked wide by Eddie Powers. Here comes Easbear. Easbear going to put some moves here. Easbear tried to take the corner. Good play. They kept him off. Knocked wide. Put down the middle. Wansboro trying to find it. Olaf breakaway. Pollock trying to pull him from behind. They leave it behind, and Pollock's the man that claims it. Easbear again. Listen to this crowd. Would you guess it's 7-4? Easbear leaves it for Wansboro. Jamie can't make the play, and it bounces back out neutral zone. Anisin to the blue line. Leaves it there. George Roll feeds ahead. Easbear getting maybe a little too tired to get the play on that one. Set back out. Easbear didn't play that quadruple overtime game. What's he know about being tired, huh, Perry? Move it back in. Look out again. Mikhailov, a shot. Powers with the save. Controlled by Randerson. Randerson gets it out of the zone to Williams. Williams with a goal tonight. Wanted to go back to Randerson. Dave couldn't get the stick. Here's Jeff Williams. Makes the turn on it. Still with it. Mikhailov on him all the way. Jeff will send it into the corner. 5:36 to go. Check on the play. Sent long. Going the length of the rink. Powers watching it all the way. Going to shovel it off onto the side. Icing waved off. Todd Flickel starts moving up. Flickel sets it out. Neutral zone. Mikhailov goes to Shapelov. Shapelov with 4 goals tonight. Watching and gets it back. Held onto by Pollock. Pollock waiting for everyone to move on side. Wanted to backhand it to Duncan. Couldn't complete it. Shepelov there again. Shepelov stops, starts making the turn. Shepelov along the far side. Looks, wanted to feed it long. Duncan takes it away. Hean sets it out to Meharry. Wanted to go back to Randerson. Meharry in the corner. Meharry looking for some help. Won't get it this time. Martinev, the man that's there to make the play. Starts up ice. He sets it long. McKee tried to take it away. Line change, and here comes Spartak again. Sholomov, the man there. Put it ahead. Bad pass. Meharry gets it out of the zone. Looking for Duncan long. They get it to Claggett. 2-on-1. Claggett across the blue line. Claggett tripped up. Sent back over to Gribble. He fires it toward the net. Still trying to chase it down in the corner. Meharry. Meharry up with it. Meharry. Claggett in the slot. Fans on the shot. It'll be picked up again by Spartak. Making the turn there. Shalomov against the board. To his teammate, Fokin. Fokin cross ice. Shalomov again moving in. Pops a weak shot. Goes wide. Rebound. Lebenciev. Lebenciev makes the turn. Deflected out to the blue line. Middle ice zone. Got a man tripped down. Brian Hart says play on. Play on. Back into the Spartak zone. Almost offside. Moving it back. Pollock. Pollock moves upside. McKee with a check that the fans cheer. Meharry gets picked clean. Moving along the blue line but retains it. Gribble. Into the slot. Barber moving in. Sent long. 3-on-2 if they hurry. Lebenciev. He comes on the left side. Lebenciev moves in. Takes the shot. Gribble steals it away. Andy turns it up ice. Outman to the red line. Feeds it ahead. Wants Barber. Barber will chase it down. 3:34 left to go. Barber sets it. Lebenciev steals it back. Lebenciev goes long. Here comes Spartak once again. Looks like Volgan on the right side. Volgan behind the net. Powers watching from in the crease. Goes through the crease in front. Powers sitting on it. He'll make the stop. Break in the action. Let's pause for 30 seconds. 7-4 Spartak. Spartak on top of the Bowling Green Falcons, but We've certainly been entertained here at the Richfield Coliseum this evening by the Spartak team. It's in the Falcon zone, sent way long. It'll drift out into the Spartak zone, chasing after it. Eastbear will not get to it in time. As that time, Galachimov said, hey, I saw Joe Lockwood do that last night with Michigan. Here comes George Roll. Roll moving in, feeds it. Eastbear on the side. Eastbear shuffled it into the pads. Eastbear gets it back. Wansbro to Eastbear. Roll sitting in front. Eastbear, nice lift up over the net. Pretty play, but it couldn't quite connect on it. Intercepted. Roll again to Wansbro. Jamie turns, twists, tried to feed it, wants Natashak just off the end of Mike's stick. Natashak behind the net, gets hit again. Controlled by the Spartak squad. Lysenko there, the man, can't clear it. Pollock up with it, set in front. Eastbear has it roll by. George Roll trying to track it down. Again, Anisin loses it to Roll. Roll moves along the slot, tried to get the backhand shot, couldn't quite pull the trigger. We're down to 220. Sent way long, deflected there, gets by everyone, tips, so icing will be waved off. Claggett makes the touch on it. Doug winds it around the board, trying to chase it down on the near side here. Tom Shirkey, he's the other young man from Boulingh Green. Williams with it on the side. Urban tipped away. Falcons hold it in. Uh-oh, here we go. Mikulov goes to Orloff. They move up ice, 2-on-1. Falcons trying to cover up. Nice saves. Stuffed in by Orloff there on a dandy play as the Falcons were outmanned. One player that really disappointed that he can't be in uniform tonight, Darren Forsovich, and wanted to pass along his sentiments.
We saw a great play by Alexander Orloff there. He really just hung on the puck using Victor Mikhailov as a screen here. We're seeing here he's hanging on the puck. He's waiting. Victor Mikhailov as a screen. He takes all the Boulingh Green players. And now we're heading to a commercial. We'll be back, and the score is 8-4 Spartak over the Falcons of Boulingh Green.
1:54 remaining in the game, 8-4. And some fans starting to move out, but most staying and enjoying the evening of hockey here at the Richfield Coliseum. Tom Shirkey picks it up. Shirkey carries it in. Nice feed. Jeff Williams in the slot. Backhander goes wide. Williams with one tonight, wanted two. In the corner, gets tripped up, trying to freeze it there. Coming in on the play to hit Mikhailov was Shirkey. With a break in the action, let's again pause for 30 seconds. 8-4 Spartak. Off shots by Scott Biles, a rebound by Brian Meharry, and it's knocked down twice by Galushimov. On the side, Meharry for Boulingh Green tries to put it wide. 8-4 our final as we are in the last minute and a half of this contest. A long lead pass to Bolden. Bolden leaves it behind. Shepelev says, I'm not done yet tonight. Fed in front, goes just wide of the crease. Falcons going to try to break it up ice. Here's Brian Meharry. Says if I hurry, I can get up there. Brian gets pushed off the play, making him a little bigger and stronger, able to control it. McKee holds it in, puts it on net. A lot closer than I thought it was going to be. And again, rolls into the corner. 1 minute to go in the contest. Andy Gribble comes up, steals it back behind. Bilesma backhand shot goes wide. Again, the Falcons able to hold it in. Brian McKee on the near side. Up pops out. Shepelev moves up ice. 3-on-1 break for Spartak. Shepelev again on the side. Shot and score by Bolden. And on a 3-on-1, not a whole lot Eddie Powers can do with just 44 seconds remaining. It's now 9-4 Boulingh Green.
Not a whole lot he could do. You see Eddie Powers here, a good friend of mine. He's from the Boulingh Green, Ohio area. One of the products of the high school program out there. And there isn't a whole lot as Shepelev set it up over to Bolden, over to Mikhailov, back to Bolden, and he just took it off the post into the back of net. Eddie had the angle. They played it well in the 3-on-2, but it's 9-4 USSR with only 40 seconds left to play.
And here comes Rob Urban. Herb sends it off onto the side. Shot goes wide. You can see the time remaining. Flickle holding it against the board. Can't. Chasing it down again. Moving way up ice. Levenchev feeds it back. Shot goes up high. Rebound comes down low. 20 seconds to go. Eastbear steals it away. Eastbear holding on to it. Eddie Powers says, I've had fun, but please, let's get these 15 out with no more, huh? Held in by Spartak. Trying to control on the far side. Is that Rob Urban? Sends it out long. Urban's got it, as it was Barber on the far side. Barber watching now as it's sent back again. Levenchev moves in, stops, and the buzzer sounds, and we're all wrapped up here at Richfield on the ice surface as the Falcons end up coming up with a 9-4 victory, and they will meet at center ice and shake hands, and fans here giving a fine round of applause as Coach Evgeny Zimin and Jerry York congratulate each other, and the two teams come by and shake hands, and it has to be a real kick for these two teams to meet on the Richfield Coliseum rink, a beautiful facility, and we want to thank the folks here at Richfield for their help getting things together this evening for the telecast, and of course both the players from Bowling Green and Spartak who performed so wonderfully. It's the kind of thing that sometimes you get your expectations up and then it lets you down, but not so tonight. We're going to pause for this message. When we return, we'll talk some more about tonight's game. The final score again, Spartak from Moscow, Russia 9, Bowling Green State University Falcons 4.